This meeting was advertised pursuant to the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6 through 10:4-21. Adequate notice was placed in the official publications for the Township of Monroe, the South Jersey Times, Courier Post, and the Sentinel of Gloucester County. A copy of that notice is placed on the bulletin board in the municipal complex. Please note, the clerk has placed a sign-in sheet at the rear of the courtroom. If anyone would like to address council during the public portion, please sign in and raise your hand, and I will ask you to come forward to the microphone. Kindly state your name and address for the record. In addition, please note that this meeting is currently live streaming on the Township's YouTube channel in accordance with Ordinance O:56-2024. A link for the copy of this recording will also be posted on the Township's website for the public to view at their convenience. Please all rise for the salute to the flag and remain standing for the invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As we gather here today as the leadership of Monroe Township, we pray that we are ever mindful of the responsibility we have to render service to our fellow citizens and to our community, keeping in mind always the enduring values of life, exerting our efforts in those areas and on those things upon which future generations can build with confidence. Let us strive to continue to make Monroe Township a successful community and lead with truthfulness, trust, and good character for the residents of Monroe Township. Amen.
Jim, may I have a roll call, please?
Council Vice President, Mrs. Adams.
Here.
Mr. Cope.
Here.
Mrs. Fox. Here. Council President, Mr. Heverly is excused. Mr. O'Reilly.
Here.
Mr. Rossi.
Here.
Mr. Valentine.
Here.
Mayor Wolf.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Kurz.
Here.
Solicitor, Mrs. Grace.
Here.
Business Administrator, Mr. DeHart.
Here.
Director of Code Enforcement, Mr. Sebastian.
Here.
Director of Community Affairs, Mrs. Park.
Here.
Director of Parks and Recreation, Mr. Bruno.
Here.
Director of Public Safety, Mr. Rumpf.
Here.
Director of Public Works, Mr. Dilks is excused. Director of Real Estate, Ms. Pizzatski.
Here.
Chief Financial Officer, Ms. Boyer.
Here.
Deputy Police Chief McBride.
Here.
And myself, Deputy Municipal Clerk Jen Harbison, here.
Thank you. We continue this evening with presentation and proclamations. This evening we have our proclamation celebrating Black History Month. Mayor?
Yes.
Yeah, come on up. Well, good evening, everyone. It's a great night. Mr. Bruno's here. We are here this evening, as everybody knows, the month of February is Black History Month. And here in Monroe Township, we live in a very diverse community. And it's an honor and privilege each year to present this proclamation to our Gloucester County NAACP. The president, Ms. Loretta Winters, who is a resident here in Monroe Township, who's been doing great work for many, many years. We go back from my police days and everything else, but she does some amazing work in our community that needs to be recognized each and every year. This proclamation is for Black History Month, whereas each year, February is designated Black History Month, a time for honoring and exploring the culture and history of African Americans and recognizing that our society's rich diversity is one of the greatest strengths. And whereas the origins of Black History Month date back to 1915 when Dr. Carter G. Woodson founded the organization known today as the Association for the Study of African American Life and History. And whereas observing Black History Month provides opportunities to gain a deeper understanding of African American history and acknowledge the centuries of struggles for equality and freedom. And whereas Black History Month also celebrates the achievements and contributions that African Americans have made in shaping our country, society, and communities. And whereas we must not forget the men and women who work tirelessly for freedom, civil rights, and equality for all people, and whose deeds helped to broaden and enrich American culture. Now therefore, the mayor and council of the Township of Monroe are pleased to present this proclamation to the Gloucester County NAACP in honor of Black History Month, and do hereby proclaim February 2025 as Black History Month, and encourage all of our citizens to join us in this special observance. Presented this 26th day of February 2025, signed by myself as mayor, our council vice president, Ms. Denise Adams, Council President Don Heverly, Councilman Brian Cope, Councilwoman Carol Ann Fox, Councilman Patrick O'Reilly, Councilman Al Rossi, and Councilman John Valentine. Once again, thank you so much for all the great work that you do in our community.
And Mayor Wolf, may I call you Mayor Wolf, be more personal tonight, professional. Thank you for recognizing Black History Month. Thank you, especially in today's world where DEI is under attack, that you taken a stand and recognize what we've given and what we've done for society as a whole. We all work together, and I just want to say this is one of the best towns to live in, especially since Greg Wolf has become the mayor here. Hopefully you'll be reelected for the next 10 terms.
Not happening.
You're doing a wonderful job. But I want my longest lasting vice president to say a couple of words.
Good evening. I have the privilege of working with the mayor and many members of the township committee here as the township auditor, and it's been an honor to serve as the vice president of the Gloucester County chapter of the NAACP. The one thing that we want to point out is the NAACP is the oldest and largest civil rights organization in the United States. It was formed in early 1900 by a group, many of them which were Caucasian. So when you see our board, we represent what Gloucester County looks like. And that's all because of Mrs. Winters and her efforts to make sure that we are here to serve everyone in the community. And we thank the township, especially the mayor and the township committee, for doing all they can to make sure that we work together for the improvement of society. So thank you very much.
And can we tell everybody the theme this year, because each year Black History Month has a theme, and it's
You'll put me on the spot.
culture and labor this year.
That's right.
Right? With the significant roles that Black Americans played in culture and labor. So I always love to share that because I think that's very important for us. So once again, thank you.
Well, thank you.
All right.
And thank you for remembering what the theme was. Put me on the spot there. Okay. Does anyone else on the board want to say a few words? No?
Gina Renee Burton? Anything?
No? Okay.
Gina Renee Burton does fantastic work in our community here. She's on several boards and always involved and always willing to volunteer.
I would just like to say thank you on behalf of the NAACP for inviting us here this evening and recognizing the work that we do together. We are very, very grateful, as Loretta has, as President Winters has stated, to live and be a part of the best township in the world. And we're going to even make it better if it can be, working together. So thank you very much for all that you do, and we will continue to do our great work. We will not fall.
Jim, can you take a picture for us?
Yes.
I had nothing to do with this. Congratulations.
I'll talk to you soon. Mike laughed.
Let's send it to me at 9:59.
Continue.
Okay, moving on to matters for discussion. We have notice of intent to award a contract under the National Cooperative Purchasing Agreement. This is the security project. Solicitor Grace?
Yes, that's really just for everyone's knowledge. It's the notice of intent to award under the TIPS National Cooperative. It's up for a notice period right now and comment period, which will expire on March 12th, just in case any other potential competitors or vendors have any comments as it relates to this award. We plan to have before council the resolution authorizing the actual award to Revell via TIPS at the upcoming meeting on March 12th. Thank you.
Thank you. Does council have any other matters to discuss this evening? Seeing none, we'll move on. Does anyone have any questions on resolutions scheduled for this evening? Seeing none. Anyone have any questions regarding ordinances scheduled for this evening? Seeing none. Okay, moving on to approval of minutes. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of council meeting November 27th, 2024, council meeting December 11th, 2024, and the closed executive session of December 11th, 2024.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'm going to abstain.
I also have to abstain.
Abstain.
Okay, thank you. Jen, do you have any opposed? 3 abstain, okay. Thank you. We have no correspondence, is that correct, Jim?
Right.
Moving on to resolutions. May I have a motion to open public portion for resolutions scheduled?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Is there anyone here wishing to speak on resolutions scheduled? Seeing none, may I have a motion to close public portion for resolutions scheduled?
Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. May I have a motion to bracket resolutions R100, 2025 through R112, 2025, and R114, 2025?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. May I have a motion to approve resolutions R100, 2025 through R112, 2025, and R114, 2025?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I have a resolution 113, 2025, which is a resolution appointing alternate number 1 member to the Monroe Township Economic Development Commission. May I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. May I have a motion to open nominations?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Mrs. Adams?
No nominations.
Mr. Cope?
No nominations.
Mrs. Fox? No nominations. Mr. O'Reilly?
No nominations.
Mr. Rossi?
I nominate Deborah Stahl Vernon.
Deborah Stahl?
Second.
Mr. Valentine? Do you have any nominations?
No, no nominations.
Okay. We need a motion to close nominations.
May I have a motion then to close nominations, Jen?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Okay. This is a roll call vote for Deborah Stahl I'm sorry, what did you say her last name was?
Deborah Stahl Vernon.
Vernon. As alternate number 1 member of the Monroe Township Economic Development Commission for an unexpired term, Mrs. Adams?
Yes.
Mr. Cope?
Yes.
Mrs. Fox?
Yes.
Mr. O'Reilly?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
Mr. Valentine?
Yes.
Mr. Heverly is excused. Motion carries.
Thank you. I now turn this portion of the meeting over to our ordinance chair, Councilman O'Reilly.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to open public portion of the ordinances scheduled for second reading?
Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Anyone wishing to speak on the ordinances scheduled for second reading? Seeing none, can I get a motion to close public portion on the ordinances scheduled for second reading?
Motion to close?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Seeing none. First one up is ordinance 03-2025, an ordinance of the Township Council of the Township of Monroe to amend Chapter 59 of the Code of the Township of Monroe entitled Municipal Utilities Authority. Motion to approve.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Mrs. Adams?
Yes.
Mr. Cope?
Yes.
Mrs. Fox?
Yes.
Mr. O'Reilly?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
Mr. Valentine?
Yes.
Mr. Heverly is excused. Motion carries.
Thank you. Next ordinance, ordinance 05-2025, an ordinance of the Township Council of the Township of Monroe providing for the implementation of the 5-year tax exemption and abatement law pursuant to NJSA 40A:21-1 and approving property tax agreement between the Township of Monroe and Tim Tonsinson LLC, 2675 Lakeside Drive, Block 9008, Lot 19. Can I get a motion?
Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Roll call?
Mrs. Adams?
Yes.
Mr. Cope?
Yes.
Mrs. Fox?
Yes.
Mr. O'Reilly?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
Mr. Valentine?
No.
Mr. Heverly is excused. Motion carries.
At this time, I'll turn this portion back over to Council Vice President Adams.
Thank you. Is there anyone on council that has any new business they'd like to discuss this evening? Seeing none, we'll move on. Does anyone on council have any unfinished business that they'd like to discuss this evening? Okay, moving on. We will now move on to reports and other matters. Jen?
Mayor Wolf?
Yes, I do have a very small report that the solicitor questioned me on because she saw a page of notes. So we'll get through it quick, I promise. Monday, January 27th, I attended, I was requested to have a meeting with our Monroe Township MUA, the Municipal Utilities Authority, where they wanted to discuss the litigation matters between themselves and our school district. You know, the township is not involved in that litigation as it is between those two parties. But basically, we were asked to attempt to get involved as far as brokering a meeting between the two. And we were brokering that meeting, and then suddenly there were some social media posts that went out from both entities. I did attend the MUA meeting this past month, and I did discuss the displeasure of the social media post. However, it looks like we are still going to be able to get a meeting together. You know, my fear is, and speaking on behalf of the residents that evening, is that litigation is very costly. Sometimes it's unavoidable, but I think in this case it could be avoided. And with that, you know, there would be a burden to the taxpayers on the school side, and there would be a burden to our ratepayers on the MUA side. So hopefully, both sides are willing to sit down and try to discuss and negotiate and work this out where hopefully everybody will walk out of the meeting and be happy with the decision that they all make. So we're going to try that, and hopefully we can intervene and get this resolved. It'll benefit all of us. On Wednesday, January 30th, I attended the Gloucester County Mayor's Association meeting. It was decided that we were going to author a letter. I actually authored the letter to the Board of Public Utilities back in late January, early February, about the sudden and unexplained increases in electrical costs, specifically with Atlantic City Electric that services, I believe, almost all of Gloucester County, with maybe one or two towns not there. All 24 mayors, does not matter which party, Republican, Democrat, are in agreement on this. We did send a letter to the BPU. Unfortunately, the BPU voted on a raise. So we'll see where the electricity costs go, but, you know, I think that both sides of the aisle, so to speak, even though we're local government, needs to come together and start putting pressure to control these costs. I know there is state legislation that is proposed, and hopefully that will support that, and there will be some caps being placed on utility costs moving forward, hopefully. Thursday, February 6th, I attended the seniors luncheon, which was also used as a Philadelphia Eagles pep rally right before the Super Bowl. It was hosted at the Pfeiffer Community Center. There were a lot of seniors out there wearing their Eagles colors and supporting our Philadelphia Eagles. Also later that afternoon, myself and Mr. Dehart hosted a Eagles tailgate luncheon for our employees to just treat them a little bit to lunch and refreshments to get ready for the big game that weekend. And now we have the Super Bowl, two-time Super Bowl champions, Philadelphia Eagles. So I'd like to think that we helped there with getting everybody pepped up. It was a great way that we could actually give back to our township employees who do a fantastic job each and every day. Wednesday, February 12th, I attended the ordinance meeting and council meeting right here. Nothing to report there. Thursday, February 13th, we conducted interviews for our chief of police position. Our current chief, Chief Ryan Burkowski, has announced his retirement after 27 years of dedicated service to this township. His last call will actually be this Friday, February 28th at 3:30 p.m., and his retirement will be effective March 1st. We wish Chief Burkowski and his family the very best in his retirement and this next chapter that he takes. We thank him for his many, many years of service. With that, after an interview process of several candidates, we have selected our current deputy chief, who's here this evening, to be our next chief of police here in Monroe Township. We know Deputy Chief McBride will do a fantastic job. Deputy Chief McBride will be sworn in at one of our March council meetings. We are very confident in his abilities and what he has already accomplished during his many years of service here in Monroe Township. There will be further updates on the swearing-in ceremony as we move forward. Wednesday, February 19th, I attended the Women's Club of Monroe Township. This is a new nonprofit organization that is going to do some great community work within our community. So we're looking forward to that. They have not established a board yet. They had their registrations. This was only their second meeting, and I believe there will be a vote for their board, and they'll be getting set up in the future. But I believe they're going to do some great things. I attended that meeting. Deb, 70 people here that evening, women throughout our community. So young women, older women, it was a great representation of our community. Sunday, February 23rd, I popped in at the Zeta Amica of Gloucester County banquet. They hosted that at Arletto's in Deptford Township. Zeta Amica is an organization dedicated to community work where they honored one of our Monroe Township residents, Miss Hattie Beckham, who has volunteered not only in our community but other communities as well. Miss Hattie Beckham has completed numerous projects. To mention a few, during the pandemic, the COVID pandemic, she actually put together hundreds of baskets for seniors that were in need at that time. She's also done other projects gathering clothing for those in need in our community, and they're just a few of the things that she does. So they were honoring her, and we went over and presented her with a proclamation. It was a very well-attended event. So we thank and congratulate Miss Hattie Beckham for all that she does. On Monday, February 24th, I attended a Black History celebration hosted by our Community Affairs Department. Great job by our director, Ms. Donna Park, and our supervisor there, Ms. Brandy Dario, all the other volunteers. I thank the council members that were in attendance there for being there. They recognized Mr. Jim Jefferson, the Deputy Director of the Gloucester County Commissioners. Mr. Jefferson spoke to the audience about his experiences. Also, there was another local resident there and volunteer in our community, Ms. Darlene Battle. Ms. Darlene Battle runs a nonprofit organization, for those that don't know, for the last several years here in Monroe Township. She spoke about her experiences and all the great work that she does for abused and battered women. So that's a great thing that she has here for women in our community. I've also attended budget meetings and business meetings, employee meetings, you name it, they're there. And I officiated 4 weddings this past month. That will conclude my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Kearse?
Yeah, I would like to congratulate Chief Brokowski on his upcoming retirement and wish Deputy Chief McBride all the best going forward. And that would conclude my report.
Thank you. Solicitor, Mrs. Grace?
Nothing to report, thank you.
Thank you. Business Administrator, Mr. Dehart?
No report, thank you.
Director of Code Enforcement, Mr. Sebastian?
Yes, I have the inspection report for the month of January. Construction building had 189, fire was 53, electrical 172, plumbing 109, mechanical 57, for a total of 580 in the construction division. Housing division had 253 inspections, and the zoning division had applications reviewed of 106, for a total of all divisions of 921. So currently, the year-to-date is 921 inspections. Thank you.
Thank you. Director of Community Affairs, Mrs. Park?
Yes, I have a report. We had a very busy February, as Mayor Wolf stated, some of the events are going to be repeated. But February 7th was a special needs dance attended by many whom were dressed to the T to celebrate Valentine's Day. A great time was had by all with a packed dance floor and snacks all night long. On Friday, February 14th was movie night at the Center. A great time was had by all watching The Strangers Chapter 1. On Wednesday, February 19th, we had the senior Valentine luncheon attended by many, and in the evening, we had Valentine craft night. Good time was had by all, and we're also having another craft night. It's already scheduled for March and April. On Monday, February 24th, we had our first annual Black History event at the Center. Everyone had a delicious meal. We had guest speakers. We had many freebies for the attendees and very well received, and we are looking forward to adding more to the event next year. We also have a St. Patrick's Day senior luncheon planned for March 17th, where tickets will go on sale March 3rd between 11 and 4 at the Piper Center. We had many pop-up food giveaways this month, and we're able to feed 2,313 people between our food bank giveaway and the Church Street Food Pantry. You can follow all our events and food giveaways on the Monroe Township Community Affairs page. And I'm also happy to report that the Sunrise Rotary of the Monroe Township Pantry won a grant in the amount of $25,000. And that concludes my February report.
Thank you. Director of Parks and Recreation, Mr. Bruno?
Yes, we're in works right now with Community Affairs here for our Easter event at Owens. We just completed putting fence at the hockey rink behind the nets. It was pretty bad. And my last one would be our bleacher program throughout all 3 complexes are finally done and will be GIF compliant. That concludes my report.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Director of Public Safety, Mr. Rumpf?
Yes, start out with the Monroe Township PD. I'd like to congratulate Chief Brokowski on his retirement, as well as congratulate DC McBride for his selection to be next chief of Monroe. Good job. Monroe Township PD was very busy for the month of January. Total calls, 5,907 calls. Pretty busy. Last year the same way. This year will be just as busy. They ended with their, for January, 330 summonses, 449 warnings, 63 arrests, and handled 68 crashes. being out there and protecting our public. Monterey Township Fire Department, they were busy as well. Total calls for January, 77, it's a lot of calls. 215 hours of department hours were put in, as well as an average of 9 members on each call. Cecil Fire Department, I didn't see a report, so that's thank you.
Thank you. Director of Real Estate, Ms. Pizzatski.
No report, thank you.
Chief Financial Officer, Ms. Boyer.
No report, but I would like to also, with Deputy Mayor Kurz and Director Rump, congratulations to our new chief, our retiring chief, and our new deputy chief, which is Mark Burton. So that concludes my report.
Thank you. Deputy Police Chief McBride.
I just want to thank you for the opportunity to serve further.
Thank you. Mr. Cope.
I just want to thank Community Affairs, all the great events they're putting on. I mean, it's just been very, very busy over there. The food drive is just amazing, and it's just been a pleasure to be a part of that and to keep the continued success of all the events they're having. And I'd like to thank Mr. Bruno. I know it was a big undertaking, 26 sets of bleachers in 10 months, so I thank you for that. And congratulations to Chief Burkowski and Deputy Chief McBride. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Mrs. Fox.
I know we keep saying, but congratulations, the new chief, McBride, and congratulations to the older chief who's going out as retirement. Congratulations to him and his family. Also, last week, as the mayor had mentioned, I also did attend the Women's Club organization. There had to be at least 65, 70 women here. It is a great organization. I encourage all women to come out. We meet on the third Tuesday of every month at the Pfeiffer Center at 7 o'clock. And if anything, just come out, listen to see what we have, what's going on in the community, and how they really, really have a great cause. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. O'Reilly.
I want to congratulate our new chief. Looking forward to working with you. Want to congratulate our old chief for his retirement. I've known our old chief, God, I think we've all known him since we were kids, so it's good to see it happen in town. On the business side, I attended the Monroe MUA reorganization. Nothing really to report. Anthony Neary was nominated as the chairman. Fred Schauer is nominated as the vice chairman. No business was actually conducted last week at the meeting, so as we get more information, I'll be sure to share it with everyone. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Mr. Rossi.
I feel like we're playing hangman, so we have to make sure.
Yeah, right.
Congratulations, Chief McBride, and of course, Chief Burkowski. Hopefully he's on a boat, or will be on a boat sometime soon. Had the pleasure of attending, I know that's redundant, some of it is, but February 7th, the Special Needs Dance. February 19th, the Senior Valentine Luncheon. I think I actually came out with a few phone numbers. February 24th, Black History Month celebration. Brandy, Donna, these guys do an amazing job. Volunteers, Debbie's here. It's, you know, it's my honor and pleasure to be there, be part of it, to watch what goes on. Economic Development Committee, I had been on there 2 years before, you know, becoming a councilman. So we're working on, I stayed there as liaison. Melody's on Maine. We're starting to plan that. We're hoping the first one will be in April. Working diligently to keep that going and actually step it up a bit more. Also, I want everybody to keep an eye out for the Williamstown, the military tribute banners that we have. The program is up and running. So you can find a link, I don't know, or is it on our township website? It's on the website. It's also on our Facebook pages. Beautiful way to tribute, you know, to honor military from Williamstown. So keep an eye out on that. There's only 50 spots. We believe they're going to go pretty quick. So, you know, please get involved. That's all I have to report. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Valentine.
Nothing to report this time.
Thank you. Council Vice President, Mrs. Adams.
Yes, thank you. I'm just going to end as my former colleague, former Councilwoman Chelsea Valcart did at the end of every meeting. I want to remind everyone that there's many ways for you to get involved in Monroe Township. I'm so proud and honored to serve this community and sit with all of these council people up here and all of these different committees and chairs that we have and celebrate the diversity and the events that we have in this town. It has been the honor of my life. So please take a look at the township's webpage to see if there's something that you're passionate about or even interested in. And whether it's a day or a year or a month that you have to give, your voice and efforts can continue to help this township move forward. Citizen leadership forums can be found in the back of this courtroom and also online. And if its civic involvement is not in the cards for you right now, please remember that small acts of kindness can make a big difference. Get to know your neighbors, especially those that don't look like you. Patronize a small local business. Have a cup of coffee with a cop or a veteran. And simply just share a smile with a stranger. It's these everyday connections that will strengthen the fabric of our diverse and inclusive community even more. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. This concludes reports for this evening.
Okay. May I have a motion to open the public portion for this evening?
Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, is there anyone wishing to speak this evening? Seeing none, may I have a motion to close public portion?
Motion to close?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. And at this time, council will hold a closed meeting, which the public shall be excluded. Council will reopen to the public before adjournment to advise of any action that will be taken.
Is there going to be any action or no?
I hope not. No.
No. So, folks, that means that we're just going to come back and adjourn the meeting. So if you don't want to sit just to watch us adjourn the meeting afterwards, you could leave. Directors, you could all be excused.
They're all going to leave. Oh, yeah, we might as well.
Yeah. I want to text Chelsea now. Text her.
Oh, you are? Doesn't give a shit.
All the more reason. I'm leaving.
We have to go in the other room. I know. And that's my street light. So I think it should be good. I don't know.
And the sun is cooking all out. I'm jealous. Don't get me wrong. I'm working. Would you be across the globe? You just like need to feel something, you know? So I'm like,
Go on YouTube and see if you can hear us.
it's gonna take like 6 seconds.
We're in closed session, so I just have mute it, and I want to make sure that the live stream is like muted and because last time when we did it, I was home. I was like, I'm texting Millie, I'm like, it's not muted. So I didn't.
I saw that this morning. I woke up to that news, and I was like, I just like simulated.
Yeah.
Oh, this is like this has to be the simulation.
Good job, Denise. Good job. Listen, Sandra knows what I said. She knows what I said. Three letters. I'll tell you. I said she texted Chelsea. I was like, see if you miss Chelsea.
I didn't text her yet.
I said, that nerd is watching us on TV. She misses us.
We're still live. I have to get to Mexico. Can we get on a cruise session?
You're going to Mexico. She's going to Egypt.
All right.
Maybe we'll bump into each
Next
other.
month.
Oh, so it's not
I feel like a month without seeing you guys. My heart's shattering.
Falls my
Away from
house.
up.
Yeah, well, you're down there. Yeah, but.
Listen, if I'm leaving, I'm leaving.
Especially Egypt, it's not like it's, yeah.
It's an 11-hour flight. I can't justify. Yeah, Yes. Yes. Good mom. It's, no, dude, you wasn't
Jen?
Back on the record? All right, no action was taken, oh, I'm sorry. You want to mention something? Okay. No action was taken in executive session. However, I know there could be potential ordinance revisions to the rent leveling ordinance later down the road that council is potentially thinking about in order to segregate out any affordable housing units that are specifically delineated. In particular, I believe there's 54 in the third round obligations that council is contemplating excluding from the rent leveling ordinance via either the rent leveling ordinance revisions or a potential rent stabilization agreement on the private sector. Any questions, concerns? Okay, and I think the earliest that would come to council would be the March 12th meeting. All right.
All right. Can I have a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned. Safe travels, Al.
Thank you.